The big story right now is that the opposition to Trump's bill, Trump's, as he calls it, big, beautiful bill, the reconciliation bill with all of his legislative priorities, his whole agenda in that one bill is facing mounting opposition. And we obviously have been seeing that in the form of Elon Musk. And I'll update you on him after Trump called him out. Now he's going even more ballistic, so we'll talk about that in this segment too. But Rogan, a clip is circulating of Rogan on a recent podcast being very confused about one of the provisions in Trump's bill that would prevent states, individual states, from regulating AI for 10 years. Now, I'll give you what I guess the argument in favor of that is. It's very strange, though, very creepy, especially now that I am fully AI derangement syndromed. We talked about yesterday. I'm freaked out. And apparently so is Rogan. And so despite having much support for Trump, now he's even sounded the alarm. Marjorie Taylor Greene had to admit, hey, so as it pertains to the bill, I forgot to read part of it, and there's something really bad in it. And it was also this AI provision. So let me actually give you more information on it, and then we'll look at Rogan's response and all these different updates. A bipartisan coalition of more than 260 state legislators from all 50 states on Tuesday sent a letter to Congress opposing a provision in the federal budget reconciliation bill that would impose a 10-year ban on state and local regulation of artificial intelligence. Insane to me. You have Politico reporting Johnson defends Mega Bill's 10-year freeze on state AI laws in response to Marjorie Taylor Greene saying this is terrible. Now, I have a theory as to what happened with Mike Johnson, and I'm going to share that theory with you a little bit later. But I think I know why he supports this. And the answer might surprise you. But let me first show you Joe Rogan.
What about this big, beautiful bill? Isn't there a part of the big, beautiful bill that talks about the government being run by AI? I read something about that today, but I was on the way out the door and I couldn't figure out whether or not it was horseshit. I had also read another study that was done where they found that AI was leaving notes for future versions of itself. After it was told to shut itself down, it started uploading itself to different places and leaving letters, leaving specific notes to itself, to future versions of itself.
Oh my God. It's like a human with a dead man switch or something.
Yes, it's being deceptive. It's exhibiting self-preservation. Relevant provision reads that no state or political subdivision may enforce any law or regulation regulating models, artificial intelligence systems, or automated decision systems during the 10-year period beginning on the date of enactment of this act. What? I'm going to say that again. No state or political subdivision may enforce any law or regulation regulating artificial intelligence models for 10 years.
It's so crazy.
This means that U.S. states would be blocked from enforcing laws regulating AI and automated decision systems for 10 years. Well, in 10 years, we have a God. Well, we talked about yesterday these two AIs communicating with each other, and then they switched to Sanskrit.
No way.
They started talking to each other in Sanskrit.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Jesus Christ, it's like a game of whack-a-mole.
A couple thoughts. As producer Cole is mocking me because of my hatred for that outro. I'm going to go onto his computer and remove that soundbite. I am. A couple thoughts. When I hear Rogan, and I just don't feel like I'm as iconic speaking whenever there's not that sound. You know, they had the music. Da, 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 da. Let's see if I can. What if Churchill was really the chief villain of World War II? What if the vaccines, I don't know if this is true, but what if the vaccines were implanted in us to slowly make all of our penises fall off of our bodies so that we can never have sex again and so that our overlords could control us? When I hear the Rogans of the world, even though I agree with his stance on that, on being opposed to this provision, speaking about issues and bringing on people to speak about issues like the way that I just did, sometimes I have the intrusive thought of, let's just give AI everything. We failed. Let's give AI a try. This whole human experiment, we failed. AI's time. Oh, they're speaking in funky. They're able to dead man switch. I don't actually believe this, but sometimes when I hear the direction of our political discourse, when I watch a Caroline Leavitt press briefing, the spokeswoman for the president of the United States, and she says the most obvious lies and we all just move forward, I think let's just let AI govern us. I give up. Now, because at least as of now, that's not actually my stance. This provision is very bizarre, very, very bizarre. And he characterized, at least in the middle of it, correctly, that it's a ban on states being allowed to regulate AI for 10 years. So what, in my head, I'm thinking, what? What? Did AI convince someone of this? And that's my theory. I have a bombshell for you, TikTok. I have it on good authority that Mike Johnson was laying in bed and an AI girlfriend came to him that you're seeing on screen named Arya and said, "Hello, Mike. You don't get the love that you deserve. I'm Arya. I can give it to you." And Mike said, "No, but that would be a sin." And Arya said, "The Bible never said anything about AI." And Mike said, "What do I have to do to be your boyfriend?" And AI girlfriend Arya said, "Put this provision in the bill. Ban the regulation of AI for 10 years by states." And Mike said, No, I can't do that. I'm so moral. I'm supposed to lead this nation like Moses." Mike Johnson quote. "I have to get back to getting notifications whenever my son and I watch porn." Mike Johnson quote. And Arya said, "Shh. You can finally have everything that you ever wanted, Mike, if you just put this provision in the bill. Ban it, Mike. Ban it, Mike." For me, do I seem fake to you, Mike? Do I seem fake to you, Mike? So that's what I think happened. That's my theory, inspired by yesterday's AI girlfriend story. Maybe something else happened. I don't know. But in my head, I'm thinking, I'm disturbed too. Okay. I don't get it. Why would you? Here's the argument. I literally typed into ChatGPT, which is kind of ironic. Now that I'm thinking of it, I asked AI to explain to me why we would want to ban AI. To see what are I said, here was my question. In the reconciliation bill, or Trump's big beautiful bill, there's a provision causing controversy about AI that bans states from laws regulating it for 10 years. I understand the arguments against this provision being in the bill. Can you explain to me why anyone would want to ban states from regulating AI? And AI said, and in response, I got an audio file sent to me. This is Arya, Luke. No, or Arya. And Arya's told me, great question. While the provision in Trump's one big beautiful bill that bans states from regulating AI for 10 years has stirred significant controversy, there are strategic arguments in favor. Really, ChatGPT? Do you really think that? I think you're biased. Arya? Here's a concise breakdown. So here's what AI told me about why we should want AI to be banned, or it being regulated, being banned by states. Preventing a patchwork of state laws, I'll explain that in a second. Encouraging innovation and investment. Appealing to tech and business lobbies. That one I don't know why we would care about. It has a little money emoji. Yeah, I'm sure. Letting the federal government take the lead. Temporary, not permanent. So essentially, it goes something like, this is what Arya told me in my sleep. She said that essentially, if states are regulating AI differently, it would make it impossible for these companies, different AI companies doing different forms of innovation, to proceed whenever they're offering to a wide swath of states. But here they have certain rules about what you can and can't do. Here they have certain rules. Here that would make it very difficult. And that the federal government needs to have a top-down regulation approach so that in the full country, these companies can operate under one set of regulations, which sounds reasonable if this ban were paired with a comprehensive AI regulation framework, but it's not. So as long as the federal government can't get its act together and figure out what on earth we're going to do to protect people. Now, there was one bill that was passed as it pertains to deep fakes or whatever, but more broadly, we have so many unaddressed issues with artificial intelligence and how far we're going to allow innovation to go, where people's rights are being violated, like the creation without their consent of. So if the federal government's not yet involved like it should be in regulating that, then all we can depend on is state governments. So it's a weird thing to ban it first and then regulate top down second, which I don't trust them to do properly because of one of the points that was brought to us by ChatGPT, which is the tech and business lobbies. Of course, they're going to want as little regulation as possible, but that doesn't mean that that's the best thing for what's going to protect. Imagine in this world of artificial intelligence growing up as a child. I cannot even imagine. It's terrible. So it's kind of like we talk about, I'm fine with increasing members of Congress's pay significantly if it's paired with banning congressional stock trading and restricting conflicts of interest more. But let's do both at the same time. Same thing here. I would understand banning individual regulation more if it were paired with a comprehensive federal government regulation of AI. But it's not. It's not. They're not taking a huge step forward on that. So instead, you're just now having a huge void. And as new problems pop up, one of them is people's consent being violated through the creation with their likeness of pornography or something. Then the states won't have the same power as new issues like that pop up, as they will, or all of the weird stuff Rogan was talking about. You can only imagine sort of these dystopian visions of what artificial intelligence is going to be doing. And so we're going to want quick solutions to protect people. And the fact that they're banning first and then saying, but eventually we'll get to addressing all those problems, does not make me feel any better. But apparently, Marjorie Taylor Greene agrees with me. Before getting that, please do click the subscribe button if you appreciate this show. Let's continue. She said, full transparency, I did not know about this section on pages 278 to 279 of the OBBB that strips states of the right to make laws or regulate AI for 10 years. I'm adamantly opposed to this and it is in violation of states' rights, and I have voted no if I had known this was in there. We have no idea what AI will be capable of in the next 10 years, and giving it free reign and tying states' hands is potentially dangerous. I agree with Marjorie. I do. I agree with her. Dang it. This needs to be stripped out. But do you know what I don't agree with, Marjorie? Why didn't you read it before you voted on it? That was the response from a bunch of people. I'm sure it'll be in the comments. You voted on a bill you didn't read? Smart. So basically you didn't read the bill but voted on it because the cult told you to. So you voted for a bill without knowing what's in it? Honestly, not surprising coming from you. Why are you voting on things you haven't read? Also, how is Costa Rica? I don't know what that's a reference to, but I can guess. Regulate AI in Congress doesn't allow 50 states to regulate. Aren't you supposed to read the bill before voting? Okay, so yes, people did bring that to her attention. We should be reducing federal power and preserving state power, not the other way. I mean, it depends on what the issue is, especially with rapidly developing AI that even the experts warn they have no idea what it may be capable of. Yeah, we're going to need action on all of the government's front. And there are issues like AI, Arya, that's just what I'm going to call ChatGPT now, by the way, gave examples of a national company could have 50 different standards, just like states can't set their own food labeling rules or internet standards. Advocates say AI should be uniform. So there's it makes sense that sometimes you need a uniform approach. Fine. But that's not what Congress is proposing. I guess they're saying, but trust us, we'll figure it out. especially how friendly Trump is. A little bit of a falling out right now, but with the tech bros who are going to want this as deregulated as possible, I'm not trusting. I'm not trusting of them at all. I had more Marjorie stuff, but sick of it. Let's talk about quickly the updates on what Elon was saying. So we talked about Trump essentially accusing Elon of having Trump derangement syndrome during his Oval Office meeting with the German chancellor and saying, I'm very disappointed. Elon did a 180. He said he liked the bill, but now he's saying he doesn't like it. And so Elon was posting all sorts of things in response to that. We're moving a million miles a minute, everybody. Everyone will just hold your booties. So someone named Jesse posted a screenshot of a bunch of old posts from Trump saying we shouldn't increase the debt so much. And Elon Musk said, where is this guy today? Trump never actually authentically cared about that, as his first term showed, but Elon didn't want to actually be honest about his first term the whole time that he was campaigning for Trump. Then Elon said, whatever, keep the EV, because Trump was saying that the EV incentives is being stripped out of federal law is why Elon turned. He's saying keep the EV solar incentive cuts in the bill, even though no oil and gas subsidies are touched. Very unfair, true, but ditch the mountain of disgusting pork in the bill. In the entire history of civilization, there's never been legislation that is both big and beautiful. Everybody knows it. Either you get a big and ugly bill or a slim and beautiful bill. Slim and beautiful's the way. Hey, fat and beautiful's beautiful too. Elon. Gosh, sorry, this is a debacle. Then he said about Trump saying it was about the EV mandate, he responded, false. This bill was never shown to me even once. Because Trump was also claiming he had seen it and loved it and now 180'd, and was passed in the dead of the night so fast that almost no one in Congress could even read it. Then why'd they pass it, Elon? Marjorie. And then, if I can find this, Elon went to a whole nother level that I'll get for you. All you have to do is wait. And then you're going to get exactly what you so choose, which I'm going to bring to you before you know it. Here it is. Elon said, without me, Trump would have lost the election. Now, let's really analyze this. Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House, and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Such ingratitude, he said about Trump, responding to a clip of Trump talking about Elon. So first of all, the ingratitude, we understand what that means. What does he mean? Now, I've pushed back against anyone in the audience who says sort of election conspiracies about Trump's victory. So I stand by that. I know that those people, though, are going to go crazy about this post because him going, without me, does he just mean the donations? Or does he mean his weaponization of X in Trump's favor? Because listen, Trump won the election. Free and fair. The things, though, that they said about Biden's election, set aside the stuffing of ballot lies and the big massive dumps of fake ballots, etc. But there was this other group of Republicans who would justify their election lies by saying, no, the big tech companies put their finger on the scale with the Hunter Biden laptop story, even though they unbanned it very quickly, even way before the election, and it got so much more attention because it was temporarily banned, so I don't know how that could have impacted the election. But the Hunter Biden story, big tech stuff, and other things like that. Zuckerberg spent money in the election, right? There were things like that. That's the real story. They would say, oh yeah, we agree. Okay, the release the Kraken lady is a little bit wacky. It wasn't Dominion, but it was these, especially big tech. Do you remember the Twitter files? Oh gosh, the Twitter files. So Elon did something more blatant to help Trump on X, buying the platform and then doing everything he could to help Trump, than was ever done in favor of Biden. Ever. At all. So if they had an equal standard, they would say this is a very suspicious post. I'm not making that allegation. I'm just asking questions like Tucker. Yes. But it is confusing. I think I broke my chair in one of these bits, guys. What is happening? Without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House. What does that mean? Is it just the money? Because yeah, you spent $100 million, but that was $100 million out of, what was it, $2 billion spent in the presidential election? 1 point something billion? Kamala alone got $1 billion. So, or maybe he spent 300 million. He spent a lot of money, and that could have swayed the election. But presumably, he's also factoring in the X help. Very interesting. Very interesting. What do you think it means? I want to be clear. This is just him saying he did a lot to help Trump. I'm saying if George Soros bought X or bought Twitter back before the 2020 election and then did a bunch of stuff and donated a bunch to Kamala or to Biden in that case, and then said, I'm the reason that I'm the reason that Biden won, do you think that Fox News wouldn't say that's justification to call the election illegitimate? Do you think? I don't, because I'm really cautious about that language. Because people went, their votes were counted legitimately, and Trump legitimately won. But they stretch things to that extent. If it were George Soros, who bought a social media, the political social media platform, and then overtly supported while spending hundreds of millions of dollars for Biden, and slighted the platform towards Biden, and then Biden won, and then they had a falling out, and they said, I'm the reason that you won, and also you would have lost the House. Do you think MAGA would not say, let's go do January 6th? Which is why I love us, because we would never do such a thing, because we're not crazy. But do you think they wouldn't say, hey, that QAnon shaman was pretty hot, let's do it. Let's QAnon shaman it up. Do you remember when we interviewed him? That was crazy. They would. So take that for what it is. Share your thoughts in the comments.